So this is the first class, which is the Attribution Foundations class. Here we're going to set the foundations for attribution, right? What is the problem statement? What are we trying to solve here? What is the theme for today's class? What are we going to talk about for the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes is that today, building media mix models is a very iterative process. Today's class specifically is about what I called shaping measurement strategy. Today, we're going to talk a lot about prospecting, which is people who are not yet your customers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into retention marketing. First part, the very last portion of the lecture, which is basically what's called data infrastructure for attribution, advanced attribution. Going once, going twice. All right.
You have to start with the basics and just get the infrastructure right before you can start to get to the good stuff. Great word. I said scrappy, but she said it better. Agile sounds better. It started with she said it.
Good word of the day.
We continue to use last click. We'll continue to get great click attribution, but it's a little bit like standing outside an airport and asking where did everybody come from, and they all answer the baggage claim. What is the marginal throw off from every new customer? What kind of margin are you throwing off from every new customer over time? And then balancing your acquisition cost against that. Where it gets really interesting and really fun.
Her typical relationship with the brand isn't in purchase mode at all, but every once in a while there's this spurt that'll cause her to buy. We found that a negative encounter with a brand has 7 times the impact as a positive encounter, which is frightening.
I can't take credit for the idea of language market fit. There's product market fit gets all the attention, right? Where it's just like trying to figure out the right features to meet the consumer needs and to know what to build and stuff like that. But I think as a marketer, I would argue that language market fit is really what's needed.
Say I'm a growth-oriented CMO or a brand-oriented CGO. Fun stuff is all the different channels you have at your disposal. Trying to understand what works quantitatively, but realistically, you have to understand the consumer at the end of the day as well, and trying to incorporate consumer insights.
I've been working in marketing over 25 years. You can get better customers, might cost a little bit more, but you're going to wind up with, a higher lifetime value. You have to kind of bring in all the concepts, arm yourself with them to help them understand why the spend is worth it.
I was building, marketing mix models in the early part of my career. The challenge in front of me was like, can you also measure new buyers? Like how many new buyers? Because that's a metric which is reported every 90 days to the street.
My philosophy was always like, if the brand does well, the agency will do well with it. Directional data is always more helpful than like pure raw numbers.
So project retention, our goal here is to help brands maximize the value of their first party data. This is just what it sounds. It's experimenting with different segments across your house file. House file is another term for your customer data to figure out what is the optimal contact strategy.
I'm going to take us through a data perspective of how we would do CR.
Sometimes when you submit a form, they'll add your email address that you've put in the form into the URL. So if we find it in GA4, we're going to find it in every other remarketing platform that you're using, Facebook, Pixel, you name it, it's going to be collected there.
Between 2020 or 2021 and 2022, the amount of data privacy lawsuits doubled. And I think the expectation is for it to triple on top of that this year. So it is a growing concern for companies.
But ultimately, like your CAC target is your CAC target, and it's just the amount that you would invest in different channels to achieve that CAC target is going to vary depending on channel contribution to everything.
I'm going to talk a little bit today about how you can comply even though there really is a patchwork landscape. In the United States, there is one definition of personally identifiable information, true or false.
Hey, Ajit! Way to go, Ajit Nizam Karthik. It's fantastic.
MMM is not more of a prediction model, right? It is more of a inference model.
So the basic fundamental stuff that one needs to understand in the hypothesis is the H0 and the H1 as it stands. Now the significance level is denoted by the notation alpha.
If you are activating an audience and you're presenting results on platform, then it may be a more accurate model, better, has better entropy, better predict, but then, it's very difficult to act on. So I think it's just a trade-off.
I consider myself a recovering perfectionist. I definitely recommend checking out that case study. I've seen it before. He does a great job. Eli is the master of post-purchase survey.
It was also a pretty dense class today. I'm sure people want to like stab me with a knife right now. How much?
I doubt that. It was pretty informative, super informative.
It's been a fun 2 weeks. It's the most intense class we've had. The fact that you guys are all still here means that's a badging in itself. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Reach out to me. Thanks. Bye-bye.